Keep with that bag.
Hello. How's everybody doing? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Yo, tell everybody we all live late tonight. Yeah. We're going to get into it tonight. We're going to talk about what's really going on. The reaction to Logic, and it hasn't been super positive. Did Logic do enough? Did Apple do enough? That's the question we want to know. Did Logic do enough? Did Apple do enough? That's the question that we want to know tonight. And we're going to talk about this morning. Late night show. Man, I appreciate you guys for chilling with me. We're not going to be on too long. Just going to have a quick conversation. As you guys know, yesterday, Logic actually came through and they released Logic 11. They released Logic Pro 11, and it was released on the Mac OS. Tomorrow, I think iPads start shipping or become available, or should be shipped to people tomorrow. iPad should be available tomorrow, so we'll be able to take a look at iPad Logic Pro 2, which is available on all M-chip iPads, and the new Logic Pro 11 is only available on M-chip Macs. So if you don't have an M-chip, you see it now, they're starting to fade away. Go ahead and fade away with the Intel Macs, which we've been said that was going to happen. Fade away with the Intel Macs, and now you have the new Logic Pro, the new Final Cuts, and everything is coming, and everything is going strictly to Apple Silicon. And that's a big deal. I said it's a huge deal, but it's something that we kind of saw coming in the long run. Now we sit here and now we see that Apple released Logic yesterday, and I had about 24 hours with it. I spent a great bit last night. Didn't really get a lot of sleep. As a matter of fact, I woke up late today. Stayed on Logic all night last night. Woke up late today. I was supposed to work on the AI video. We'll talk a little bit about AI and the things that happened, and also make the second part of the Logic video dealing with the AI instruments with session musicians that come along and session players that's also available on the new Logic Pro 11. Now, I've been watching it, and I'm a huge fan of a lot of YouTube bloggers, and I'm a huge fan of a lot of tech bloggers and producers and things of that nature. And I've been watching the reaction of a lot of these bloggers and a lot of YouTube and social media on how they feel about Logic. And before I give my opinion, first I need you guys to like and subscribe. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. We thank all the new subscribers that's been coming over the last 2 days. You guys have been amazing. We're on our way to our goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers. That's our goal. We want to reach that goal before, really, I was thinking it would be like August, but man, we're trying to reach that goal really before the end of the month. So I need you guys to help. It only takes a second to hit that subscribe button to get more tech, get more news, get more tutorials. Just a couple of seconds to hit that. But so please, if you get a chance, hit a heart, hit a like to let the algorithm show that you're here. And also, you know what I'm saying, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notifications so you can know when we come on. Now back to what we was talking about. We seen the response of producers. I've watched the response of content creators, everyone talking about the big news of Logic dropping yesterday. Now, the thing of the tech news, the thing that's really been dominating tech news is two things. ChatGPT 4.0, which is cool. And then you had Google's thing, which we'll both do. I'm going to do a video on both of those. Google's had their kind of like their WWDC yesterday, and today they're in their release stage this week. So we're going to cover both of those situations with Google, ChatGPT 4.0, all the things that we saw with ChatGPT doing the surprise of ChatGPT. Always try to one up Google. It's just crazy. So the AI thing is super crazy. Joaquin, why are you talking about AI? We're supposed to be talking about Logic. So we're talking about Apple. Because the big issue that a lot of creators and a lot of producers and a lot of people are saying is, in Logic Pro 11, Apple doubled down on AI. Apple really kind of did. Because the big feature, one of the biggest features, dealt with AI. The biggest features that we saw in the upgrade from Logic X to Logic 11, some calling it 10.9. Some people said it's not a full update. And y'all let me know in the comments, how do you feel about Logic? How do you feel about it? Do you think that Apple did enough, in the update to call it Logic 11, or should it just been Logic 10.9? But I've seen a lot of people saying that Apple didn't do enough because they doubled down on AI. And I was watching a video where producers were saying, it's really kind of it's a split down the middle. Really, it's more people against AI in the music world, the music production, and the music things. Because as everybody, we're scared AI is gonna take our jobs, right? And which is cool, which is understandable, right? It's gonna be hard now, and because I saw one guy, he did a video talking about session musicians would take the job of musicians and having copyrighted songs and stuff. And I'm like, man, are you crazy? Have you heard what session musicians come? Have you heard what the type music session musicians is coming up with? Like, it's nice, it's cool, but you have to do a lot to get something fresh out of session musicians, right? Now, right at this moment. But we do understand and we do see what's happening with Logic doubling down in AI and saying, okay, all our big features, a majority of our big features is dealing with AI. Other than the MIDI out and a couple of other features, everything else is pretty much AI based. The major features are AI based. And that's just where tech is right now. If you look at all the tech, all the big news is all AI. For good reason. And I said in another video before, if you're not willing to embrace AI, you're probably going to get left behind. Right? If you don't know about Suno, or you don't know about Udio, or you don't know about these text prompt to text, the prompt to music, you're probably gonna get left behind. So you probably should familiarize yourself with this different technology that's coming. Because y'all remember when Jay-Z talked about the deaf auto-tune when T-Pain was coming out, and everybody's talking about the deaf auto-tune, and people was like, yeah, and the purists. And that's what we're having right now. We're having an argument with the purist music producers that play instruments and all those things, going against the techs, right? Not understanding they really kind of work together, right? We really got to work together. You have to find the middle ground. But y'all remember when T-Pain was doing the auto-tune and Jay-Z came out with the deaf auto-tune and was saying that it wasn't real singing and all this other stuff, right? And people like, yeah, and the purists like, yeah, he's right. Deaf to auto-tune. We don't want auto-tune in the music. Yeah, no auto-tune. Right? No auto-tune. This is kind of how it feels with AI. And then if y'all really pay attention, it really did age well for Jay-Z because everybody still uses pitch correction and auto-tune. they doubled down. As soon as Jay-Z came out, Future came out. Then Young Thug came out. And then Drake came out. Then Chris Brown, all these guys kept coming and using auto-tune. Now you see Beyonce using auto-tune. You see everybody's using auto-tune or some type of pitch correction. It's a staple in music production. Why? Because that's where the technology is going. That's where the tech is going, right? So it's a staple in music production. Now when they came out with Auto-Tune Live a few years back, now they're able to go live on stage and use Auto-Tune live on the stage, and people don't even know that it's Auto-Tune. The purists do. Us as producers and us as content creators, engineers, we know what auto-tune is and pitch correction, but the average Joe just wants a good performance. They really just want a good performance. All right? We can hear it because we tune our ears and we worked in the industry and we know what a good singer and what a bad singer, and people do too. But at the end of the day, especially the younger generation, they just really want a good performance. They want a vibe, right? And it's kind of the same way with AI and the music production. It's kind of the same way with Logic. It's kind of the same way with what's going on in Logic, what's going on in music production. what's going on in different in FL Studio, what's going on in Pro Tools, what's going on in everything. Everybody's moving towards a Cubase. Everybody's moving towards AI, which has always really been there. It's been there since a long time. AI has been in DAW for a while, right? So it's been there for a long time. But the thing is, the major features that Logic brought in to their things deal with AI. And that's really where we are right now in music. And a lot of people is like, it's cool, it's dope, but why? Right? Stem separators, stem separation, one of the big, I think it's the biggest, really to me, it's the biggest upgrade to Logic 11, the stem splitter, aka stem separation. It's really the biggest it's really, to me, the biggest addition to Logic and Logic Pro 11. Everybody talks about the session musicians, but I do agree with a lot of them. A lot of us are musicians ourselves, or we pride ourselves in making our own beats. We pride ourselves in doing our own thing. But the stem separator is something that if you are a hip hop producer, or you are a trap producer, or you're a boom bap producer, or whatever, that stem separator is kind of life changing because of the speed and the accuracy of the stem separation. Could it be more in depth like La La La? Yes. But then you got to say the speed, the accuracy, and having everything right there at your fingertips and Logic. And I said in the video, and I'm probably going to share it probably in the morning, which we are in the morning. When you talk about the stem separator compared to a Kai, compared to other stem separators, when you speak on those, the way Logic implemented it into the DAW is really kind of groundbreaking. It's really dope. And I heard people talk about FL and how FL stem separator works and how it's dope too. It's cool, but I still don't think it's as quick and as intuitive and easy to use as it is in Logic. To break up a stem and be able to manipulate the stem and to chop that stem within less than 30, 45 seconds, less than a minute, it's crazy. That's something big, and that's a big deal. But was it enough? And that's the question I want you guys to answer. Was it enough? What's the session musicians, which is dope and really deep. And I heard a lot of people talk about the AI with the session musicians and things of that nature, the session band and things. But if you really dive deep into it, if you dive deep into the session musicians and you dive deep into you really dive deep, it's really, really, really deep. And I like it. And I like it because of this. If you really let me show you. If you really, really get into it, if you really jump into it the way that you should, right? If you really jump to it the way that you should. And I've heard people all the time saying it's this, is that, whatever, right? I heard people say it's this and that. But the thing is, if you really, really jump into it like you should, or, if you really into that stuff, it really goes deep into music theory. And that's what a lot of people, tomorrow when I drop the video and I go into it, and I want to do it all tonight, but it goes very, very detailed into music theory. And if the way that it's done, and I said that it would probably be kind of like Cubase, which is not totally like Cubase, because the thing about Cubase, the difference in Cubase's chord track is way more to it. But you got to remember, this is like the third or fourth iteration of chord track in Cubase, right? So this is the first chord track in Logic, but this is like the third or fourth iteration in Cubase. Cubase is a lot more intricate, right? You could dive deeper, you could deep dive into it, and you could do a lot more. You can actually play the chords, and it recognizes the chord, and it puts the progression down there. You actually drag it to a pad and put a pad at each chord and pad and things like that. Logic is kind of bare bones on this when it comes to that. But if you really, 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 really study Logic and you really go into chord track, you really can get to the bare bones of chord track to make it where you kind of have to know a little bit of music theory. Not a lot, but the basics. And that's what makes chord track really, really good. A lot of people talk about the AI where they're just playing it and blah, 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 blah. But when I delved into chord track last night, it's like, oh, this is kind of fresh. Okay, I can manipulate it this way. I can manipulate it. And there's 4 things in chord track that I think is fantastic. I'm going to show you real quick. And I'm going to go into more details with it tomorrow. But these are the things that I think is fantastic in chord track. And let's go. Let me flip the screen here. And I said I didn't want to go do it. I just want to do some talk. But I just want to show you guys how chord track is more intricate and how you have to give it a lot more A lot of people haven't delved deep into it, so they just think it's just an AI prop, but it's really not. It's a lot more. It's a lot more sophisticated, and it's a lot more. It deals a lot more in music theory than you would think, right? And you got to know a little bit of music theory. Now, first, if you look at here the chord track here, you see I have it here on my screen. You look at here the chord track. Here are the chords. This is the chord track right here. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Here's the chord track right here, right? So when you initially open up chord track and you open the chord, or you open a session player, what happens is the session player region, which is a realistic region, player that performs, that follows your session, right? When you put a session player, be it if it's a piano or if it's let me break these down, be it if it's piano, if it's anything like that, when you have your session player up here and doing the things that you need to do here, right? You see the chord chart right there, make it small. Well, you have different things that you can do, right? You got the piano player, you have the bass player, you have the drums, which is dope. This is cool. You have 3. But Logic did something that I love that they did, and Logic does. They make it very intuitive. I was started off with the chord track, and I love the chord track, and I love what it was doing, and it was cool. But then you can make changes to the chord, so you can go up here and click a chord, and if you have a keyboard controller, you can actually make changes to the chord and input the chord that you want to. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can play it. You can go down here and hit MIDI input, and you can play the chord, or you can just input the chord right here where you see, hey, this is the root note. You know what I'm saying? They got the major, minor, the sus4, the fifth, the augmented, diminished. You know, the half, 5, 6. That's all music theory. That's all theory. You can even go back to here when you create the chord track. You can even go here, right? And you can double click here. And when you add something, you go down to the bottom here. You can have full chord, voices left, root only, which is the bass. So if you have C, the C would be the bass. If you put a C chord, and then you have the 1, 5, and your 1, 3, 5, which is basic triad. So if you have the 1, 3, 5, and the C chord, then you can do it that way. You can even run the root, the root on the C. You're gonna play the 1, 3, 5, and the other just a basic triad. That's just it. I'm just saying this is a basic, rudimentary music theory. But then it also has something where it calls chord progressions. And you see chord progressions right here. It gives you these numbers. You got like 3, 5, 1. What are those numbers, King? Once again, it's a part of music theory. All this is a part of music theory. If you're a musician, you definitely know what it is. If you have a piano, if I break up a piano roll, let me bring up the piano here so I can show you what I'm talking about. If I break up a piano, this is just quick. This is like the basis. And I wasn't gonna do this to tomorrow, but I see people watch it, so I appreciate you guys for taking time to come out here and watch with me. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you open up your keyboard, see if we can make it bigger. Okay, we can. All right, cool. So if you open up your keyboard here, you have C3, right, which is middle C, right? So you have C, and then you have D, E, F, G, right? And you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, if you know anything about if you know any music, the major C scale is all majors in one flat. So you got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? And then C, right? In the major scale. So people go B, but we go B the C, right? So this is the thing. When you go into it, when you have the scale, you have what? 7 notes. If you go interval 8 notes, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the octave would be C again, right? So these are the numbers. So when it goes to the chord progression, the 1 and C major scale, 1, 3, 5, right? That would be considered the 1. If you go up, the next chord, that would be the 2. The next chord, 3. The next chord, 4, 5, and then 6, right? And then you go back, right? So those would be the chords. So what it's saying here, when it's talking about, if you look at the intervals, and it's talking about chord progression, it's saying 2, 5, 1. Those are the chord progressions that you could put in there to have in there. So if you're in F sharp, that's right. So that's your chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Then you got to go back to the 1, right? So if I was going to play the chord of a 1, so the chord 1 would be right? And that's inverted, right? So I'm here. 2, A flat, 3, B flat, right? 4, 5, 6, right? Now we, so if in a band, and this is just basic, this is what the complication of everything would be, right? And I said I think it's a flat, but that's in the trumpet scale, so y'all have to excuse me when I say it's a flat in the C scale. That's in the trumpet, B flat scale. This is trumpet. But if you're doing this, and I know some of y'all don't know because we're talking about music theory, but this is how detailed chord track is. So a lot of people said it's AI, and it is AI, but what I do like about what Apple does is Apple turns around and gives you an opportunity to turn off the AI and put human qualities in it. You could change the chords and the chord track to make it. So it is very AI-ish. It does. But just like anything else, you can take the chords out and you can put your own chords in. You can even put different chord progressions in there. So the chord progression here is, let's see, 2, 5, 1. So the 2, 5, 1 in the F sharp would be 2, 5, 1, right? So 2, 5, 1, that would be the chord progression of A sharp. Now, but this is what Logic is doing. So it really, a lot of people say it's AI. It is, but Logic also gives you the opportunity to put human effects and human input with the AI. So you don't have to just depend on the AI all the time. You get what I'm saying? So you can take over and say, all right, let me drive you can have the drivable car, but you can take over like a Knight Rider, like a Michael Knight, and say, all right, kid, let me go ahead and put it in manual mode and let me drive. Right? Let me drive myself. Let's take it out of the AI and we got it in manual mode and let me drive. Same thing with this. AI is there? Yes. Is AI one of the big things that they have in Logic? Yes. Logic 11? Yes. Is session musicians normally AI? Yes, it can be. But if you can play, or if you know music theory, or if you and like I said, I did a horrible job there with the C. I'm sorry. But if you know music theory and everything else, you still could do exactly what you need to do and take control of what it is and use the AI as what? As a tool. And that's where I think Logic is heading and saying, okay, cool. We're going to put AI. We know AI is the future. We're going to implement AI in our first Logic Pro 11. And with AI, we're going to still give you the opportunity that you can put your human characteristics and add the human characteristics with the AI and create something dope, right? Because AI is not going anywhere. It's only going to get more popular, people. I know y'all hate to say that. I know y'all hate to see this, but AI is going to get more popular. It's going to get more. You're going to see more AI DAWs than anything else, especially with something like Suno, with something like Udio. You're going to see more AI, right? So I understand people saying that it's not enough, that there's too much AI. They could have put more this, that, the other in there, but that's the way that it's going. That's the way music tech is going to AI. Music tech is going there. It's going to learn behavior. And the cool thing, like I said, the cool thing about Logic is you can change it from a simple riff, like, hold on, let's see. Let me do a simple keyboard riff like this, and it'll give you the simple riff like that where it's following my chord progression. So this simple piano riff right here, instead of doing its own thing, it's following my chord progression. And it is a tool that you can use to create with this, okay? So if you get a chance, I understand people saying it. All right, so, but you can do some crazy things. Yeah. And we're going to go more to this when I get into the chord progressions and everything. Hopefully I didn't lose y'all with the theory talk. And what's cool is if you don't know theory, it's fine. You still can do stuff like this if you're not really in the theory like that, okay? So it's really cool either way you look at it, it's really dope. So I like the drums. You can go halftime. Because first, the drum thing that they gave me was this. Right? Are you going to put control halftime it? Halftime. Hey. And you can make it more complex. And if you don't know, I mean, or you can break it down, make it more simple. Hey. All right. So it's not the cleanest in the world. It's not everything it's done, but this is the first iteration of chord track and Logic's first try at it. What we say is not going to get worse than this. It's going to get better. Right. And if you really listen to what we're doing, you know, you can do some cool things with this. You go to the loop of that. I'm just saying, like, I mean, so it's a lot you can do with this. It's still just as intuitive. Hey. Now all this is that's chord track. Now think about it. This is chord track. This is what I did. I changed the chords. I went up here. I put human feel to the AI because people gonna say, "Oh, it's AI, it's AI. Oh, I hate it." And then we be like, "Well, wait a minute. Am I leaning on AI or am I using AI as a tool?" That's what it is. And when you look at it like that, then you really do start to appreciate what Logic is bringing in the update. If you look at it as a crutch, or you look at it and say, "Oh, I'm gonna let AI," like the guy said, we could just let AI make their own beats and stuff like that, and you're gonna get some corny. You're gonna get some corny. But if you actually can sit there and play around with it and you make it yours and you use it as a tool, oh, it's beautiful, baby. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you can just do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Join me tomorrow. Listen, join me tomorrow. I'll show you how I changed it, how I made it, because I know a lot of you guys are saying, "Man, I opened the Logic in mine. Mine didn't sound like that." How did you get it to sound like that? I did a lot, right? My bass don't sound like that. Anything doesn't sound like that. But that's because you gotta dive into it. You gotta dig into it to bring it to life. If you don't dig into it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's just minute changes that they made." Until you dig into it and you notice that, oh, I can change. The cool thing about sessions, the cool thing about session players is I can change every sound on here. I don't have to use that. I can use the pad sound. I can use my favorite, my Breathy Ovas. Change the sound here and give it a whole different dimension. Yeah. Let the bass work on it. Come on, we make stuff soulful, baby. The music gotta move you. And the only way it's gonna move you if you put your own self into it. And you love it, baby. But this is really, this is really what you can add. And then on top of that, you can come back and add other things on top of that to play with what you're doing. I can add a software instrument. And let's see. Let's go. I'm not rolling in here. I can add another software instrument and I'm getting busy. Let's use ES. Let's use stop, right? And I'm getting busy. So on top of that, I can go ahead and add, something. So I can add something on there, and then now everything works together, right? So Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you're feeling that. If you're feeling that, let me get a thumbs up in the building. All my people in the building, give me a thumbs up if you're feeling that. Give me a subscribe. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So it is what you make it, right? It is what you make it. It is what you make it. So whatever you make it, you can make it hot. You can make it do what it do. You just have to make sure that you're adding, you know, what you want to add into it, okay? That's the thing. It is deep. And I understand some people are not happy. No, some people are not happy with it. You know, some people not happy. That's fine. You know, we can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But once you get into it and you start learning what you're doing, yeah, it's very deep and it's dope. So, what's my opinion of it? My opinion is it's super dope, guys. That's my opinion. I think you can make it as deep as you want it to. You can make it as now, let me say this. I did make some changes. Yeah. Break it down a little bit. I did make some changes. Let me say this. I did make some changes on the track. I made some changes like I said. What happens is once you get the sounds that you want, you can come in and change the sounds on here. Like I changed that to a breathy box you got to show. I'm adding myself. I did change my bass. Y'all know I said one of the issues I had with Logic is their basses. Their basses aren't very good. So I changed the bass and I went to what is this? Is this Scarby? Yeah, I went Contact. So I added Contact, changed the bass, and I added Scarby bass as that's where that funky bass coming from there. Yeah, that's crazy. What I'm saying, guys, is this something? It's a lot in there that you can do. It's very intuitive that you can use. You can definitely make what you can, and it's a full-fledged thing where it's there. You have the best. It's not the best of AI yet, but you have somewhere that's going towards AI. Say, okay, if you want to utilize AI, you can. If you want to do both, we can implement both together. This is the issue. Real talk. This is the issue. When I make my I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the hook on the AI video. The cool thing about the AI, the big issue with Suno and the big issue with Udio is that you can't do this, right? You can only just say, okay, I'm gonna prompt whatever it is I want, and boom, but I can't add my own instrument. I can't add my own flavor. I can't reverse engineer it where I can put the vocals, have the vocals there, and then add a beat to it, or have the beat and then add the vocals to it. I think that's the next evolution of something like Udio or something like, you know, let me hush because I'm giving my ideas that I should be selling. But I'm just saying this is where it is, where you have everything here together. And the cool thing about something like what Logic did and what Logic has what Logic has done and Logic has put together is you can go as deep as you want. What we talked about a little bit in this video, we can go and do chord progressions where you have to know a little bit of a little bit of theory, right? You can go as deep as you want, or you can stay on the surface as much as you want, right? You get what I'm saying? And you got to know all. I'm not the greatest theory. I saw I just messed up the C scale because I did the trumpet C scale rather than the regular. That's trumpet. I'm a trumpet player also, but you know, it's just knowing the basis and doing different things where you can know what you're doing and how you implement it, how you're doing it, makes everything dope, right? And being able to work together and put it all into one main thing and make it the main thing is great, and have it all here where it's quick and intuitive. I think it's the big deal, and what's really going to have people running to Logic. A lot more people are running to Logic, because when you do that, and then you turn around, you do the stem separator, and you do the stem separation, and how quick the stem separator. Let's run through the stem separator real quick before we log off. And how quick the stem separator, how vast the stem separator, and how quick the stem separator is. Let me say this. And this is just trial, guys. These trial tracks. I'm just trying stuff out. And how great the stem separator is like once you get that and you see how quick you can work in the stem separator, it's just amazing. And it's all right there. It's all right there. And that's the thing that I think Logic wins. That's what Logic is doing. And It's 11. It's 11.0, guys. What we got 9, at least 8.1 updates with Logic, and now mind you, it took them 8 years. It was 8 updates of Logic, but we got 8 years. We got a major update every year, pretty much, right? Major updates every year. This is the first one, so you know the updates that they're gonna go before we get to 12, and then sometimes Logic. I mean, Apple does like what Apple did with the M3, and it shot past M2 and went to M4, right? The M4 chips in the new iPads. You never know. You know, Logic might go, all right, we do 11.5. All right, let's go ahead and do 12 and just hit them with a whole new GUI and everything, right? So I'm just saying, be patient, because a lot of people are writing it off saying, oh, it's not this, it's that. For us that already have it, it's a free upgrade. They didn't say come back and pay another $199. I heard them talking about going to subscription models. They didn't say we're doing subscription right now. Do I think they're going to subscription? Probably so. They're testing it out on iPad first. Let's just see how it is on iPad first. And like an idiot, I do have the subscription on iPad too. But yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, Logic has a lot of stuff that they're doing.
Trouble don't last always. Trouble don't last always.
All right.
Trouble don't last always.
So let me show you the stem splitter real quick. Then we get out of here. All right. So this is another one, the stem splitter. You bring in the track, you import. I like to import the thing so it already gets everything and import the tempo so everything is there. It's there. Now look, I imported it, process. You know what I'm saying? Once you go to processing, stem splitter, select what you want when everything's split it. And look, takes a couple seconds. And I'll tell you, and I'm running the M1. It's done. It's done, guys. And I'm running the M1. I'm not running the M1 Ultra. This is the base model Mac Mini. This is the base model Mac Mini. M1, the first one that came out, M1 base model Mac Mini. 512. Like I got 512 gigs instead of 256. Base one M1, 8 cores, 512 gigs, Mac Mini. And you saw how quick that was. Imagine if you have an Ultra, a Pro, an M2, M3, M4 that's coming out soon. Man. They can say what they want to say. I think the only thing that's quicker than this I don't even think. They say Serato is quicker. I don't think it is. I know MPC, Akai MPC is not. It's not as quick. And I don't think what's the name is either. But I told y'all, this is the main thing here. And it's clean. So we just did this. This is how it sounds all together. It creates a track stack for you. Mutes it just like you did. Just like if you had came through and you did a bounce in place. It created a track stack, mutes that. The track stack hit has all the stuff together. You can play it together as well.
Trouble don't last always. Trouble don't last always. Trouble don't last always.
So you got that there, boom. And yo, you can just come. Let's see how the music. Let's see vocals by himself.
Trouble don't last always.
Man, that's solid.
Trouble don't last always.
It's just solid.
Trouble don't last always. Don't last always.
I mean, that's no artifacts, are
Trouble don't last always.
It's not like I'm in the studio with him.
Trouble don't last always.
That's how good it sounds. That's how good it sounds. So I mean, people say that they didn't do a lot. They did. You just got to dig for it. And if you don't dig for it, that's your fault.
Trouble don't last.
Now the bass has a little. Okay, this is different. I'm gonna tell you why this is different here. That's actually the organ bass. That's the organ pedal bass. So that's not a bass. That's the organ pedal. That's how intricate this is. It's picking up the organ bass. This is not a bass player. That's the organ bass that is picking up. Okay, that's the bottom of the organ bass, which is dope, right? So if we used to play together. Oh man, that's solid. Not a lot of artifacts, a lot of things there. And I told you, I made the video yesterday. This is the game changing thing right here. And everybody's been talking. And I had seen a lot of people talk about this. They do the still separate. They be like, okay, yeah, we can still separate. It's cool. It's dope. Still separation is cool that you can do it. But I ain't seen them say, hey, but you can drag that one part of the still into quick sampler and boom, you got it. It's there. And then you can slice it. And you got everything all there at your slices right there at your fingertips. Everything is done right there at your fingertips. I mean, come on. Everything. Yeah, and they ain't talking about that. Nobody said, okay, cool. Now let's drop it in the quick sampler and let's see if we can make a track out of it real quick. Let's see how fast we can do this. And we can just mute everything else. Come here. It's a quick sampler. Now I can go record. 2, 3, 4. All right. Very whack. But what I'm saying is, look how quick I just went from having the whole track stemming it out, and then being able to record something. Just that quick. So you try to tell me, yo. So you try to tell me like, yo. So you there? So I mean, come on, just intuitive, just the speed of it, and just making sure everything is on point. I could cue it, kind of get everything quantized. You know what I'm saying? Quantize it. Let me Command A, quantize, and then we can boom. Come on, y'all tripping. What you talking about, man? What we really talking about right now? What are we really talking? That's what I'm saying when I say if you dig into it, what Logic has done is it sometimes because we want something brand new. We want to know, and I said I'm getting kind of tired of the GUI and how it looks. It looks kind of similar to how it did when first. It doesn't look similar when it first got it. It's had a lot of changes and iterations and changes. But the cool thing about it is I know where everything is. I know how to get to everything. Now, plus you're adding on stuff that I know you're adding on. You have the mastering, the audio effects. You have the new audio effects that they have in there, the new verbs, the saturation plugin that they just dropped. You have all this that's added on here to make everything in one thing at your place. I don't have to go buy Serato. I don't have to go buy Fader X or one of the other things to do separators. I got it right here at my fingertips, and it does a very good job. It does more than an average job, just as good as the other stem separators or better. Then I can tell I don't have to go and get another sampler. I can drop it in the quick sampler, and boom, I'm there. Right? So all that's still there. That's what I'm saying. What Apple has done is they created a DAW that's very intuitive, that once you learn it and you can go as deep as you want to in the rabbit hole, or you can keep it as intuitive and as simple as you want it to be. If you want to dig deep and get deep down into it, you can get deep down. I showed you can get deep down when you're doing music theory and you're creating sheet music. Or if you want to just be a chopper boom bap producer, boom, you can do a boom bap producer. You can open up a drum designer. If you want to create samples, you can just create samples. If you want to do sound packs, you create sound packs. Only thing, and I agree, they do need to change their filing system. I agree. They need to change their filing system. It needs to update the filing system. That's the big issue that everyone is having is the filing system at Apple, right? Having your loops, having your stuff, having your samples where they actually do like the samples that are in Logic where they actually play when you're playing something, right? I get it. I understand that all day. But if you're looking at the DAW as a full host and you don't have money to spend on getting the Akai MPC 61, or you don't have the money to go and get to pay a subscription for Serato or Serato Studio or different things, it's right here $199. I don't know. I think so. I think we kind of sounded. I understand. We got to hold Apple to the fire and say, Apple, you got to keep pushing. But then too, we got to be fair too with an assessment and say, all right, this is kind of fresh. This is kind of fly. And I know I'm sounding like DJ Academics with I know I'm sounding like Academics with Dre. I know I'm sounding like Academics right now. I get it. Yeah, I understand. I'm sounding like Academics with Dre. I get it. I understand. But I know. I'm not. And listen, I am not being paid by Apple yet. I hope that check comes, and y'all should want me to get that bag, because you know what? I want you guys to get that bag, right? Y'all should be like, all right, can you get that bag, buddy? All right, but I'm not getting paid by Apple yet. It's coming, but it's not there yet. But what I am saying is, when I look at Logic, and as a Logic fanboy that I am, now I got all of them. I got Cubase, I got Pro Tools. I use a vast majority Luna. I got Reasons. I think I deleted Reasons though, just for space. I think I deleted Pro Tools for space too, to get more space to add everything down. I have all the DAWs. I have all of them. I've used all Studio One. I used all of them. I got an MPC. I use all of them. I use all of them. And so, but what I'm saying, I'm still a Logic fanboy. And when you get down to Logic, everything is there. It's intuitive. I know what's there. I know what I'm going. I know what I'm doing. Cubase is the chord track on Logic is a lot easier than the chord track on Cubase. Now, Cubase is more in depth. Cubase is better, especially if you're talking about, hey, I just put a MIDI file in there and they can find the chords in the MIDI file, and then the whole track runs towards that chord in the MIDI file. That's dope. Logic hasn't gotten there yet. But I guarantee you, when Logic brings it there, it's going to be so intuitive that somebody can go off GarageBand and be like, oh, yeah, I can put a chord track, blah, 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 blah. And you got to sit there and learn 4 or 5 years of Cubase and pay, Cubase $5.99, $3.99, or $200 upgrade fee. And this is $199. We've been having updates for the last 10 years. Just makes sense. I'm just being practical. I still got them. Don't get it twisted. I still got Cubase Pro 13. Don't get it twisted. I still have it. I still have Lunar, right? I still have MPC. I still have them, because any great producer, and I learned this from my cousin Kerry. He used to say, "King, man, you're gonna get tired. You get tired working in. Sometimes you just need a different environment. That goes from DAW environment to everything else. Sometimes just to work in. Y'all see my video with me at the beach. Hey, man, that's just a different environment to work in. Me on the water. Let's just get out. Get out, guys. Go out and enjoy life. Or stay home. I love my house. I have everything here at my house. Stay home and create. This might be your best environment to create. Whatever it takes for you to get done, get it done. Right? But I do think that the criticism for Logic has been a little... I would say that it hasn't been negative, but it's been like, it's cool, but it's not as good as it should have been. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta really take some time and dig deep into it. And if you still say that, that's cool. Then write Apple and something, they need to do some more. You know what I'm saying? Which I do think it's some other things I think is better. Like I said, I think the bass sounds need to be improved. The guitar sounds need to be improved. I think they're doing a good job of still adding new loops and everything like that. That's cool. I think the filing system, oh my God, the filing system is probably the worst on here. And it's actually worse on the iPad. That's something that they got fixed. Now, they did say on the iPad, we'll see when the iPad gets here. They did say on the iPad, now you can drag your music straight from the SD card straight to, or external hard drive straight to the iPad. That's big, because last you couldn't do that. The filing system, what you had to do was actually import it to files, and then you had to open it from files to do that, which is an extra step. So they're saying, hey, we're taking that step away. You can just take it straight from your external hard drive and run it straight from the hard drive into Logic Pro or either Final Cut Pro, which is big. So I think they're hearing us saying that the filing system is trash. They need to get better on the filing system, and it needs to be just as quick when we shoot off one of our own personal samples. It needs to be as quick as we shoot off one of these, right? As soon as I hit that, it need to be playing, right? And that's the same thing that needs to come with our personal samples, because a lot of us have splice. A lot of us have different samples that we do. We created our own sample packs that we want to use, and we want to play when we're playing this, like I just did a few seconds ago, when we were playing the sample. We want to be able to, we want to be able to, you want to be able to flip through your own samples, like we could do Logic samples. We want to be able to, like we can do Logic sound pads. We want to be able to do our own sound pads and our own samples like that, and flip and be able to audition those according to the tracks that's there also. So that's something that they have to work on. So it's are some things that did do the MIDI out, which is big. there are some things that Logic has still can improve upon and get better. I think the sounds can be a little bit better. I still think the bass sound, even though they did come out with the new, what is it, the upright bass, which is dope. And but for the bass sound still a lacking to me. I'm going bass, I'm going straight to Native Instruments, and I'm getting the Scarby or one of their basses out of that. It just is. It just sounds better, sound more realistic. You know what I'm saying? So listen, it's KD. I think you guys, what you guys think? Put it out in the comment section what you guys think. I appreciate you guys. Any questions that you guys have? If you have a question, go ahead, put it in the comment section. I'll read your question live. If you have a statement, if you like it, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart, man. It's 2:00 in the morning. Y'all still up here watching me do this video. Man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. If you don't mind, just give me a thumbs up, get a subscribe. If you have any questions that, or if you got something you want to say, how do you guys feel about Logic? Do you like it? Thumbs up if you like it, heart if you like it. Do you not like it? Give me a comment if you don't like it. Tell me what you don't like about it. What could they do better? What's some more improvements that you would like to see in the next update? Have anybody experienced? Oh, now that's something that we didn't talk about. I need to talk about. Now the upgrade process was iffy. Like it was, first of all, I think they kind of hid the update where it wasn't just showing up in your Apple updates. If you go to your app, if you go to the App Store, it wasn't just showing up in the updates in the App Store, right? So it was kind of like it was hid a little bit. It wasn't just showing up here. Like normally the updates show up here and you can just update from here. It wasn't showing up there. Well, mine didn't show up there. Somebody said love. Lamb Lyric says love Apple. That's what's up, Lamb Lyric. Love Logic hands down. I think it's the best DAW out right now. I think it's the best DAW out. I've been on it since Logic 9. I didn't care for Logic 9, but when X came out, I was on that. I was like, yo, I can get busy in that. When X dropped, I was like, yo, we getting busy in X. I was coming from Reason, and I was using Reason. I could not stand Reason. But when X dropped, I was like, oh, snap, we getting busy for that. We getting busy in X. When Logic Pro 10 dropped, I was like, yo, it's on and popping. It's like, yo, it's a wrap. And for $199, if you hadn't made your $199 back since Logic X dropped, don't get mad, guys. I want to see everybody win, but I gotta keep it real with you. I want to keep it honest with you, 110 with you, right? If you ain't made $199 back since Logic, if it hadn't paid for itself, it's probably something you're doing wrong. Probably something you're not putting yourself out there like you should. You're not promoting yourself like you should. You're not out, doing the things that you should be doing. Because, man, I don't know about you. I done made thousands. I'm talking about thousands. I'm talking about thousands. I'm talking about thousands on top of stats. Bags using Logic. That $199 has paid itself over so much. 10 years, man, I'm talking about maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in Logic. That's not much, man. So, yo, like $199, that investment is crazy. It's crazy, right? So use it. Use the tool. It's getting better. Like I said, it's going to get even better. Logic 11, this is the first iteration. This is 0. It ain't even 0.1 yet, so they ain't even worked on the bug fix. It ain't even put. And what bugs have y'all seen? Now, I did have some bugs. I'm loading it. Like I said, finding it. It wasn't in the app. I had to actually go to I had to go on Safari and go to the Logic website and hit click buy. And if you look at my last video, I walked you through it. So if you get a chance, check out my last video, walked you through it, had to click buy, then the upgrade popped up, and then we was able to upgrade. But then when I tried to upgrade it, it was a monster trying to get the session players files to update. Oh my God, that just aggravated the mess out of me. It took me maybe like 2 hours to get the session players updated. So once we finally got there, I was able to actually get into it. It's been dope since I actually get into it. The process was a little tedious as far as updating and how it was done, but once we got into it and we start actually diving into it and seeing the changes that were made using the plugins, the plugin that they have with the saturator, which is very it's nice. It's a nice plugin. It's a nice plugin. It's nice. Carmago is nice. It's a nice plugin. It's a saturator. Now, with saturation, you're not supposed to put a whole, unless you're just going for like a real buzzy or fuzzy type track. If you're going for that, that's cool. But it's supposed to be subtle with the saturation. Saturation is supposed to be subtle, but you do notice a difference in it. You do notice a difference in it. But it is nice. Nice plugin. I like the saturator. It's a nice plugin. I think the highlight, like I said, is the stem separator. And the session musicians are the highlight. So the AI is the highlight of the update. I think we're gonna have more updates coming up over the years. And I just think it's gonna be cool too. He said Reason was pretty dope too. Then I got into Ableton, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool too. Logic, the workflow, and the layout is the cleanest. Now I did like Ableton too. I like Ableton more for live use. Pushing out, the loops and everything. It's cool. I'm just used to linear. That's just me. I'm used to this type of layout here. That's just the layout. So it kind of threw me off going into Ableton in that and getting that workflow. But I did get a couple of things done, especially for live and playing with a live band and stuff like that. We did get some things going in that. So Ableton was cool. I love Ableton. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? So those Ableton users, man, you can make hits off anything today. FL. I mean, we used to have jokes at Fruity Loops forever. We used to joke at Fruity Loops. We were like, you making Fruity Loops? Man, then Metro Dem came and he was like, man, dang, Fruity Loops making all the hits. Fruity Loops had its place. Reasons. Everybody's talking about Reasons for a minute. Reasons had its place. But then I think right now, Logic is king. KJ. I think with the AI, the keyboard sessions could be better, which we could use our own MIDI into it. You can kinda. Let me show you. You can kind of. So we open up session keyboard, and I think I showed this just a second ago. You kind of can. Now you can always session piano. All right, so this comes here. All right, so it plays. Let me mute all the rest of this here. Them solos. And this is what I was telling them earlier, right? So you have your chords here. You have your chords up here on top. Let's move this to the top. So you have your chords here, right? So you have all your chords. What you can do is you can change these chords and input your own chords. Or if you just like the sound, you can just take all that out and just hit record, which I think is dope too. And, just put, all right, you can put your own chords in there, right? You can put your own chords in there if you just want to do that, right? If that's what you want to do. Or what you can do is, now that you have your chord progressions up here, you can go back, you can add it. You can go here and you go up top to the chord, and you might already know this, but I'm just walking to somebody that doesn't know it. And you can change, you can double click. Oh, if I can get up there. All right, doggone cursor is nothing crazy. You can double click the chord progressions up here. I don't know why I won't let me do it right now. Oh, I gotta lay it down. That's why. Okay. So you can double click the chord progressions here. Double click it, and you can change the chord. Or let me open up my window so you guys can see this. Or you can actually play the chord and you can input it that way. How you do it is you go down here to MIDI input. Okay. Once you go to MIDI input, now you can see how the chord changed to D flat. Right now, see how it chose the A flat. And I rise up today, and I rise up away, and I rise up today, and I rise up to you. Right? So you can add the chords that you want to put in there, and at that, you can input those chords in different places. So I can change all these chords here, and I can go to each one and change the chords. So I went D flat there. Let's go F sharp here. Let's go to the next one. And I hate this. Now I agree. Cubase, you can just play it. It's like that. I wish Apple had it where you could just play it and it recognizes the chord that you're playing. But right now you kind of have to input the chords one by one. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of input them one by one to get what you want. Right? And now it'll follow. Now that you put those chord ins, now it'll follow your track. I don't know what that was at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So now it'll follow your tracks that way. Now while you input the tracks, I think it's crazy. You're right. I agree. I hope. Did y'all see that? Hold on, let me see. I'm sorry. I'm going to flip my screen so you guys can see. Let me show y'all. Flip my screen. All right. So let me go here. It's like, but what you do is you double click there. That brings up your thing, and there's a button right here. That's the button right there. Y'all see the button? You hit the MIDI input, and when you hit that MIDI input button, now you can input the buttons that you want to put up there. Okay. Now you just, I agree. I do think it's frustrating that you have to go here and input each individual button, but you can change the length of the once you get them in there, you can change the length of the chord too. You can actually change the length of it, make it smaller, make it longer, right? So you can change the length of it also, and you can separate them, right? So you can ungroup the chords and you can separate them. Now you ungroup them. Now you can change the length to them. So you see, now I can change the length. I can choose one. Say I want this one here to be shorter. Now it's shorter, right? Now I can make these shorter. You know what I'm saying? So now when it plays, all right, so you know that's a key I don't like. So I went from F sharp. Let's go B flat major. So let's go from the A sharp. So now it's trying to go back to the C, which is the original thing. But you get what I'm saying? You can change each chord progression there. That way you can get yourself, you can kind of set it up how you want to set up. Okay. Did that help, Jay? I hope that helps, sir. So I agree. I wish you could play the chords and then it automatically, the AI will automatically pick up the chords that you're playing and you can just move it there and it follows the sessions of the chord. Or like Cubase, you can put a MIDI track in there, and the MIDI track, it'll follow the chords of the MIDI track. I do wish it was that. I agree. They're not there, but hopefully they'll come to update. I hope that'll come to update. That's something we can write the app and say, hey, we need you to work on the chord track. I like the fact that they added it. It's really dope. But like I said before, you can do some dope things. I was just playing last time I was playing the track. We can do some dope things with chord track. Hold on, let me show you. And if you watch tomorrow I'm gonna go more in detail if you guys want it. If y'all give me thumbs up, get enough likes on this, tomorrow I'll go in detail of chord track. And for real, Logic skips out on the most basic features, shaking my head, chord recognition, key finder, yep, and even locking the piano roll to scale like Ableton. I agree. Those are things, like I said, it's the things that they have to do to make it better. Right? To make it better. It's definitely some things they have to do to make it better, and they have not done that, right? And I think another thing they could do that on Cubase that they do, they have it automatically detects what the next note in the scale should be. So if you're running the circles of fifths, you run the circle of third, it actually detects what's the next note of the scale. So then I guess it kind of has that. Let me see, double harmonic by Z major. No. So I think that would be cool. Like I said, it's the first iteration. I don't know, maybe it does. You know, I'm still digging into it too. Single global track. Yeah. So I wish it did have where we could record, like if we could delete all this, which you can, and just record it as we went, and we could make the chord track something that we could record on and not have to create individuals, right? So what you have to do now is create individual chord track, pull it over to where you want it to go, and then size it. I think that's crazy. Now, I don't know. Let me see. Let's record. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we record something. Nah, it's not gonna do it. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. So that's crazy. Like, what we really kind of want to be able to have a chord track where we can record. We can have the root note. We can put it. Now it does change. I will say this. It does change with the scale, and you can lock in tempo, kind of, sorta. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna drag all this. Let me undo all this. All right. So you can change the scale. Now you can change the scale in the root of the song. Turn it up. Now this is what I made with chord track. That's what I showed them earlier. Now you may get some dope stuff in chord track. Don't get it twisted now. You can make some dope stuff track. Hey, feels real good. All right. So you can make some dope stuff. Don't get twisted. You know. You know, you can do some dope stuff with that. But at the same time, what I was saying was, um, you know, you can do some stuff. You can do some damage now. You can definitely do some damage with it. Right? So you can do some damage with it. But let me say this too. What I was going to show you was you can change the keys. And they say transpose. Oh, not the word transpose, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. People could not go to Logic just because they're transposed on that, Jesus. Lord, they said transpose. Lord, no, not transpose. Yeah. Yeah, so it does, right? So you can change the root note of the track. You can do that, right? And then it transpose the track to where you're going to be changing the root note. So you're right. I think it could lock in a little bit better. He said, I'm put it. So I can put his it's coming up there. Everything's running crazy now. Let's see. Am I still coming through? All right, but you can definitely put some different stuff up there and lock it in for you guys. You know, so you can definitely lock it in for you guys, so you guys can do it. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Listen, guys, I like it. It needs some changes. Skips out on. He said skips out on the most basic features: chord recognition, key finder, and even locking piano roll to scale like Ableton. He's right. That's true. Those are things that Logic can bring in and make it better. It can get better. It can always get better. This is the first one. It can always get better. Like I said, I think Cubase has one of the best chord track functions, bar none. Cubase chord track so crazy. It can actually depict your your pitch correction, right? So everything is based upon the chord track, even down to very audio, where it can pitch your vocals and everything, make your harmonies, everything compared to that. So it's a way that Logic has to go to catch up with something. I always tell you, I say Ableton, Cubase, to me are always the first ones to stretch the limits of what they're doing. They're going to be probably the most innovative, and then Logic's going to take that innovation and they're gonna copy it and make it more intuitive. They're gonna make it easier for like somebody like me, not the smartest person in the world, that can do it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make it very intuitive. They're gonna wait and let the innovators innovate, and then they're gonna take those innovations they've learned from Samsung and the cell phone business. They're gonna take those innovations and make it very intuitive, right? Because look, still separation. FL started. It came out still separation. Serato sample. Because my Serato people got onto me that first video. So, oh, you can't bring up Serato? What's the issue with Serato? Serato sample, with the still separated was dope. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what y'all want me to do? Do virtual DJ had still separation? DJ Pro, still separation? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to be hard about that Serato sample. Serato sample had the still separation. MPC came out, Akai came out and still separator. Then you had a La La Lay, you had Fader X, you had all these ones with still separation that drop still separators. But guess who's more intuitive? Apple. Sounds just as good and it's easier. It's one button. Drag the stem, one button, you got it. But then again, at the end of the day, still comes down to me as the artist to master music theory and not rely on AI. We just see you came in late. We talked about that. We talked about how when you're doing, and you're right, and that's what I was saying earlier. We talked about that earlier. Even when you're doing stuff that stem separation is super fast. It is super fast. Super fast. And I told you I was on the I'm on the Mac Mini M1. But I am lyric. Listen, that we talked about, even when you're learning, even if you're doing chord progression, if you see here, you got to know your chord progression. You got to go to the 2, the 5, and the 1. And I was telling them, when you're talking about chord progressions and everything and learning music theory and stuff like that, what that means. So if you're going let's change this. Let's go to piano. So it didn't change. Record. All right. You go there. And we talked about even in this, it can run off chord progressions. And if you know a little bit of progressions, like so you know different things, different parts that you have, So if you're gonna do progressions and that, so what are we doing here? What's the chord progression we're doing here? We're doing C sharp, right? So but it's really F sharp. So if you go F sharp, you go to C sharp, that's the 5. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Then you back to the 1, right? So the chord progression, right? But we're going to the 5, right? So it's just knowing those chord progressions, and then when you come here, that's just basic theory. They ain't even complicated theory. We ain't got to the 7s or anything. When you get here, you got your chord progression. You got the 2, the 5, the 1. So if you're in F sharp, 1, F sharp, or we can invert it. 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're gonna go 2, 5, then you're gonna go to the 1. It is. You can dig deep into it and change the AI, and at any point in time say, all right, I like to call it the Michael Knight. And anytime you say kit, auto mode, I got it, manual drive, and I'm driving the car. At any point in time. Trust me, this is not, that's not AI. That's a mixture of AI and me adding chords and different things in there. Okay. So it's as deep as you want to dive into it. You have to make it intuitive. Okay. And I think Apple, if you're watching this, Apple, and I know you are, I'm waiting for my check. I know you are, because if I'm taking Apple, hey, I should at least get the early versions, to preview the early versions and everything. Let me and I'm Lyric get the early versions so we can preview the stuff. Make sure it needs to be where it needs to be. That's what I'm saying. All right. Is there any 1, 5, 7, any melody in the same any key? Right. That's right. In any key. It get any key. Right. Same. We do the C. Right. The 1, 3, 5. Right. 6, 7, 1. Right. It's any key. That's in every key. I'll just use the F sharp as the example because that's what the key. I did the track in. Right. But that's any key. That's just any key, right? So that progression in any key would be anything. So if I'm going that, you know what I'm saying? So if I go to the 5, you know what I'm saying? So it's not hard, you know what I'm saying? So it's any key that you're gonna do is any key. Those numbers of those progressions work in any key. That's flat, sharp, major. You know what I'm saying? If flat is the key below, sharp is the key, the half step up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Only your black keys are your flat and sharp, except when you get to what, B and C. The half step up from B would be C, which you learned in the Drake beef. If y'all paid attention, we kind of dissed Drake a little bit in the Drake beef when Drake said B sharp, and people was like, B sharp. Oh, he don't know music. But those who know music theory know that B sharp is what, ladies and gentlemen? Tonal C. That's a C major. That's a tonal C scale. All right. But listen, that's music theory, right? And that's the thing. You can get as deep as I am Lyric and know music theory, or you can be a novice like me and not know that much music theory and know the basics and still be creative and make hits and Logic. That's the beautiful thing of it. Is there some things we like to see done, some more that we like to see done to it? Yeah, but they're business. They're only gonna give you a little bit at a time, so you keep going back. They keep coming back and say, "Hey, we updated again. Hey, we updated again. Hey, we updated again." All right, they're gonna keep doing that. So listen, I think right now my initial impressions of it is 11. I can understand why some people say 10.9. I understand, but I think it's a decent upgrade. I'm excited to see where the future goes, and like I said, how we're using AI and implement it not as a crutch, but as a tool. Not as a crutch. Not to use AI as a crutch, because I forgot who the guy was on YouTube today. He did a great video, and he was talking about, think about the musicians are in trouble. We're gonna do copyrighted music with with Logic is come out with session musicians. Now we can do copyright music, session musicians. And one of the comments to the words on my mouth. I said, you gonna have that garbage stuff in session musicians? Now he's playing the basic session stuff. Oh, you can take it, complexity, C, D, E. And I was like, nah, man. Nah. Nobody's gonna, they're gonna be like, who did your soundtrack? You know what I'm saying? Who did your soundtrack? It's a while before AI takes the purity and the experience and the creativity. I never think that AI will outdo human in arts and creativity. Reason is it's learned models, right? So the learned models is modeled after us. So if we're consistently creating, they're always evolving, trying to catch up to what we're creating. That's the way y'all gotta look at AI like that, right? Can it be dangerous in the wrong hands? Yes. But if you really think about it, it's a learned model. Think about it. Text the prompt. It's a learned model. What is it learning based upon? Based upon human knowledge and human experience, right? So it's just quick. It's fast. But when it comes to creativity, hey, man, it never can be creative. It's human. Because it's based upon what we know and our knowledge. And we're vastly changing. We are vastly evolving. Our music is evolving. Man, some of these younger musicians are doing things that I was like, oh, it took me 10 years to do, and they're doing it at 12 and 13. Man, props. Because man is evolving. Y'all look at the athletes. The athletes are bigger, faster, stronger. They have better technology. They have better, they've learned from our mistakes and what we did well, and they become bigger, better athletes than we were. Consistently evolving. That's just nature. So don't be scared of AI. Use AI as a tool. Use it as a tool to get what? Get the bag. Right? Get the bag. Get the bag. These companies just doing AI. They're just doing it because it's new. It's the new social media. It's the new kid on the block. And everybody's excited. And that's just the buzzword to say, hey, AI's been around for a while. It's been around for a long time. AI's been a while for a long time. Your spell check is AI. It's been around forever. So, just keep evolving. Keep practicing. Keep creating. Keep doing things. And if you're dope, people will find you. If you're dope, people will find I Am Lyric because I Am Lyric is dope, right? People will find KJ because KJ is dope. They'll find you. You know what I'm saying? So keep creating, keep doing, keep blessing. Hey, man, stay blessed, stay up, keep living, keep loving, go for your success. Go for your goals. You know why? Because success looks amazing on you. Guys, I'm getting ready to dip. It is almost 2:30. I appreciate y'all been up. Man, I can't believe I got these numbers at 2:30 in the morning. Yo, like, subscribe, hit that like button. Subscribe. I'm glad you guys, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's do this again. Let's do another late night session where we talk music production, what we would like to see, what some of the things. You guys let me know what some new things that you guys are coming through, man. Matter of fact, link up with me. Let's do a live together. Let's come in, man. It's a community we're trying to build together. We're trying to build a community together where we can learn everything. I don't know everything. I'm learning, man. I'm learning. And I want to be a part of the community that's learning and growing and don't mind working together and being great and getting to the bag and getting to the money. Let's get to the money. Let's be successful this year. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do it. Good music is good music. It don't matter how you create it. It is. That's true. That's true. So true. And I want you guys to keep creating. And guess what? We're going to keep getting better. I'll holler at you guys soon. It's your boy King Joe. I'll holler at you guys soon. Yo, this is off my beat tape. Start it over. Yo, off my beat tape, A-Listers is coming out real soon. You guys get that beat tape, it's coming out real soon. Yo, holler at me. Let's collab. Let's get it. Peace. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Holla at your boy Kijo. Let's go, man.